Money has wings and it flies. It has flown away from many families of old and even new. However, some wealthy families have learned the art of clipping money's wings, kidnapping, and having it caged across generations. In today's video, we'll be understudying some of the strategies that old money wealthy families used in caging money and in fact had it domesticated. It's easy to make money, but sustaining and securing the wealth, now that's the hard part. Old money families have been safeguarding their fortunes for generations, and whatever they do is not rocket science. Here are some of their time-tested strategies. Proper financial planning. Just like every other thing that is worthwhile in life, planning is crucial to sustaining wealth. A proper financial plan is what grows and sustains money. It's no coincidence that family wealth planning is first on this list. Without proper planning, even the largest of fortunes can be lost in future generations to taxes, high professional fees, poor investments, and unprepared heirs. The first step in family wealth planning is to create a roadmap that outlines how the wealth will be managed and invested for future generations to come. This roadmap should also include tax planning strategies to minimize the impact of taxes on wealth over time. It's important to work with a financial planning professional who has experience in your area of focus and wealth level. For example, if your family has $50 million in assets, you should seek an estate planning attorney who has a lot of experience with these amounts and the appropriate strategies. In addition to working with a financial professional, it's also important to involve your family in the wealth planning process. This will help to ensure that everyone understands the family's values and goals, and that the wealth is transferred to the next generation in a way that is consistent with those values and goals. Old money families have understood this principle, and it has worked for them for ages. Some of us probably heard that our grandparents were wealthy or that we descended from a wealthy family, but there's no evidence of that in our own lives. So what exactly happened to that money? Could it be poor planning? Or maybe fine wine or fine women? Who really knows? The money just flew away. Establishing a strong financial foundation. Old money families prioritize long-term wealth preservation over short-term gains. They understand that fortune is fleeting and that focusing only on immediate profits can erode their wealth over time. To safeguard their financial foundation, they diversify their investments across a range of asset classes such as stocks, bonds, real estate, and commodities. This spreads their wealth across multiple investments, reducing their risk of losing everything in a single misfortune. One iconic example of old money wealth in America is the Rockefeller family. This family successfully diversified their wealth across multiple asset classes for generations. Some of their approaches to wealth preservation and growth include blue chip stocks and bonds. The Rockefellers have consistently held significant positions in blue chip stocks and bonds, such as those of ExxonMobil, the successor of John D. Rockefeller's original company, Standard Oil. By investing in well-established corporations with a history of stable returns, the family has maintained a steady income and capitalized on the growth of these companies over time. Commodities and natural resources are another way the Rockefellers preserve their wealth. The Rockefellers' wealth originally stemmed from the oil industry, and they've continued to invest in natural resources over the years. This includes investments in timber, mining, and agriculture, which provide not only financial returns, but also act as a hedge against inflation. Venture capital and private equity. The Rockefeller family has diversified its wealth by investing in various venture capital and private equity funds which offer exposure to innovative companies and industries. An example, the family's investment arm Venrock has been involved in financing successful companies like Apple and Intel, allowing the family to capitalize on the growth of these businesses. Like the Rockefellers, most old money families invest in tried and tested industries that have stood the test of time. They prefer to put their capital in businesses with stable and predictable returns rather than chasing after the latest investment fad or speculative venture. By concentrating on reliable investments, they can ensure a steady stream of income that helps preserve their wealth. Real estate as wealth preservation. Real estate has long been a favorite asset class for the old money elite because it offers several benefits that make it an ideal wealth preservation tool. One benefit is that old money families often own and manage multiple generational properties that have been in their families for generations. These properties not only provide a source of income, but also serve as a tangible symbol of their wealth and social standing. A great example is the DuPont family. The DuPont family is one of the oldest and wealthiest old money families in America. This family owns the Winter Thur estate in Delaware, which was built by Henry Francis DuPont in the early 20th century. This 1,000-acre estate, which includes a 175-room mansion, has served not only as a family residence, but also as a museum showcasing the family's extensive collection of American decorative art. Winter Thur has provided the DuPont family with both a source of income and a testament to their wealth and influence. Another benefit of real estate is that it tends to appreciate over time, making it a reliable store of wealth. A plus to that, owning prestigious properties can enhance an old money family's social status and influence. Another example is the Hearst family, a prominent American old money family that has effectively invested in prime locations and landmark buildings as part of their wealth preservation strategy, such as the Hearst Tower in Manhattan, New York. This 46-story skyscraper serves as the headquarters for the Hearst Corporation. Completed in 2006, the Hearst Tower is a prime example of the family's continued investment in prestigious commercial properties. Its distinctive design and central location in Manhattan make it a viable asset that has contributed to the family's wealth. The most interesting part of the deal is that real estate can be used to leverage tax benefits and asset protection. By taking advantage of tax loopholes and structuring their property holdings in a manner that minimizes their tax liability, old money families have effectively preserved their wealth. Private banking and wealth management services. Old money families are very private about their finances and want personalized service. They often work with private banks and wealth management firms that specialize in helping high net worth individuals and families. These firms offer a level of confidentiality and customization that traditional banks cannot match. One example is Goldman Sachs Private Wealth Management, a division of Goldman Sachs Group Inc. Goldman Sachs is known for its personalized financial services and tailored solutions for high net worth individuals and families. With a global presence and a reputation for expertise, Goldman Sachs is a trusted partner for many old money families. Offshore banking is also important for old money families. Offshore banks are located in countries with different laws and regulations than the United States. This allows old money families to diversify their assets and minimize the risk of political and economic instability in the United States. Offshore banking also offers tax benefits and asset protection, which helps old money families preserve their wealth. Education and networking. The importance of education and networking cannot be overstated in the world of old money elite. They understand that their wealth isn't just a matter of money, but also of connections and influence. Attending elite private schools and universities such as Eton, Harvard, and Oxford is a rite of passage for the old money elite. These institutions provide not only a top-tier education, but also a forum for forging lifelong connections with other influential individuals. These networks of influence are critical to the old money elite's ability to maintain and grow their wealth. By associating with other powerful individuals, they access opportunities and information that may not be available to the general public. These relationships prove invaluable when it comes to making business deals, protecting their interests, or navigating the complexities of the global financial system, which leads to our next point. Before we continue though, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to Old Money Chronicles for more exciting content. Philanthropy and social influence. Philanthropy is a key tool for the old money elite in managing their reputation and maintaining their social status. They often establish charitable foundations and trusts that support various causes, from education and healthcare to the arts and environmental conservation. The Whitney family, a prominent American old money family, has effectively used philanthropy as a tool for social influence and wealth preservation in the 21st century. An example is the Whitney Museum of American Art in New York City. Established by Gertrude Vanderbilt Whitney in 1930, it has continued to thrive in the 21st century, credit to the family's ongoing financial support and involvement. The museum not only bolsters the family's reputation in the art world, but also highlights their commitment to cultural enrichment. Furthermore, the Flora C. Whitney Miller Education Fund was established in memory of Flora C. Whitney Miller, a philanthropist and supporter of the arts. The fund supports educational initiatives and scholarships for students pursuing careers in the arts, further demonstrating the family's commitment to the betterment of society and the cultivation of future generations of artists. Through these endeavors, old money families have demonstrated their commitment to the betterment of society and, in turn, cultivate goodwill and admiration from their peers and the public. Leveraging philanthropy for reputation management and tax benefits is a time-honored strategy of the old money elite. Charitable donations can result in significant tax breaks, allowing them to preserve more of their wealth. Trusts and family offices. Trusts, family offices, and intergenerational wealth transfer strategies are essential tools for the old money elite to preserve their wealth and maintain their influence. The Astor family took full advantage of this. What are trusts? Trusts are legal structures that protect assets from creditors, lawsuits, and taxes, ensuring that minimal wealth is lost when assets are passed down to heirs. In the 21st century, the Astor family used trusts, such as the Vincent Astor Foundation Trust, to manage and protect their assets according to their wishes. Family offices are private entities that manage a single family's wealth and investments, providing professional asset management and services such as tax planning, estate planning, and philanthropic advising. These offices are crucial for preserving wealth and facilitating smooth intergenerational asset transfers. Succession planning and wealth transfer strategies developed with family offices and legal advisors enable a seamless transition of wealth and power to the next generation, reducing family disputes and the risk of wealth erosion. A strong reputation for generosity and social responsibility can help to deflect criticism and scrutiny, further protecting the old money elite's interests. Engaging in high-profile social events such as exclusive galas, fundraisers, and cultural events allows the old money elite to forge new connections, strengthen existing ones, and reinforce their upper echelon status. Political influence and lobbying. The old money elite has long recognized the importance of political influence in preserving their wealth. They often invest in political campaigns and engage in policy making to shape the economic and legal landscape to their advantage. The Ford family, a member of the old money elite, has long understood the importance of political influence in preserving their wealth. Throughout history and into the 21st century, the Ford family has invested in political campaigns and engaged in policymaking to shape the economic and legal landscape to their advantage. One notable example is the founding of the Ford Motor Company by Henry Ford in the early 20th century. Henry Ford was an influential figure not only in the automobile industry, but also in American politics. He supported politicians and parties that aligned with his interests, like those advocating for the development of highways and transportation infrastructure, which directly benefited the automobile industry. In the 21st century, the Ford family continues to exert political influence through lobbying efforts. Ford Motor Company is known to lobby for politics that benefit the automotive industry, such as favorable regulations and tax incentives for the development of electric vehicles and autonomous driving technologies. By employing lobbyists to advocate for their interests, the Ford family can ensure that legislation and regulations are designed to protect and even enhance their wealth. Through these political investments and lobbying activities, the Ford family has been able to shape favorable economic policies, maintain their wealth, and secure the longevity of their family business. Precious metals, gold, and silver. Precious metals have been considered money and a storage of wealth for over 2,000 years. Gold and silver are an integral part of many cultures from around the world as a form of money or storage of wealth. While gold and silver have technically become de-linked from all paper or fiat currencies over the past few decades, they're still perceived as money by many people regardless of how their respective governments see them. Over centuries, gold and silver have been seen as the best form of money for the fact that they're divisible, durable, consistent, convenient, and have value in and of themselves. Regardless of whether gold and silver are actually used as money in day-to-day transactions for goods and services, they're seen to have one of the best characteristics of a store of wealth or money, an asset that retains its purchasing power over long periods. It should be noted how many wealthy families own gold as a storage of wealth. Regardless of the current public opinion of gold and silver, many Swiss vaults are lined with gold bullion from wealthy families who value gold as a permanent storage of wealth. Corporate stock. Corporate stock is a proven way to beat inflation over the long term, withstand political and economic turmoil, and potentially provide income to families. An example is BMW, a German company founded in 1913 which survived World War I, World War II, hyperinflation, and a potential liquidation in 1959. This doesn't mean all company stocks are good long-term investments, but if chosen wisely, this asset class can help sustain a family's wealth across generations. One reason company stock outperforms inflation is that companies can pass along inflationary costs to customers through higher prices. Also, if a company pays dividends, the family can benefit from an extra income stream. Farmland. This is another classic asset that wealthy families have invested in over many generations. This also falls under the real estate category, but farmland has certain characteristics that other assets in the list do not have. Just like timberland, farmland is resistant to inflation, has a low correlation to other assets, historically provides decent performance, and if managed well, can last generations, but it can also be used for sustainable living if the need arises. Regardless of the political and economic climate, well-maintained farmland can sustain a family as long as necessary. While it's unlikely that a farm is necessary to survive in this technological era, it provides a sense of security to a family so that if all else goes wrong, there will always be a place that can provide the basics of life. Collectibles. A collectible is an item that either currently has value, that is wealth preservation as a collectible, or will have greater future value, that is in speculation as a collectible item. The types of collectibles are almost limitless, but some examples of these items are paintings, artwork, stamps, vintage wines, coins, rugs, or cars. Most of the collectibles bought by wealthy families are already considered valuable, so it's not necessarily speculation of future value. Since wealthy families already have a large amount of wealth, their goal is not to grow it, but rather to keep it, which means that preservation of wealth is more important to them than speculation. Collectibles are a favorite asset class by wealthy families. The items are typically purchased for some personal enjoyment, but also accomplish the ability to be a hedge against inflation. So, what do you think? How many investments can you say that you get personal enjoyment from looking at them? Owning an antique car is certainly more enjoyable than owning a piece of paper that says you own shares in a company. Timberland. While timberland qualifies as real estate, it has some different characteristics than rental real estate, which are important to note. Timberland's historical performance and correlation to other assets, including commercial real estate, is a large part of the attraction of wealthy individuals and families. Also, if it is well managed, it can provide long-lasting wealth protection and growth. The historical returns of timberland, according to NCR-EIF from 1987 to 2010, are approximately 13.5%. The correlation of timberland to U.S. equities and U.S. bonds is close to zero. This translates to consistent returns not tied to the performance of the stock and bond markets. Timberland also has an uncanny ability to outpace inflation, which tends to be a concern for families with multi-generational wealth. If a family wants to create long-lasting wealth, timberland is a must-have for part of a portfolio. If you're also looking at clipping money's wings, consider some of these things from the old money families. Number 1, create a will and trust. This will ensure that your assets are distributed according to your wishes after you die. Number 2, set up educational funds for your children and grandchildren. Number 3, purchase life insurance and disability insurance to protect your family in case of unexpected events. Number 4, invest in assets that are likely to grow in value over time, such as stocks and real estate. Work with a financial advisor to develop a tax plan that minimizes your tax liability, and most importantly, talk to your family about your wealth planning goals and make sure that everyone is on the same page so that one child that's born today doesn't end up destroying all that the family has gathered over the years because of some misunderstanding. So what have you guys learned in today's video? Do let us know in the comments section down below. We can't wait to read your thoughts later on. You would do well to check out our previous videos on this channel if you want more exciting content. And with that being said, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Old Money Chronicles for, of course, premium content. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you again in the next video. Bye for now, guys.